Hi, my name is Siti Asha Akila binti Muhammad Jalil, and I will be presenting on Islamic capital market based on the Islamic financial market. As the introduction for the Islamic capital market or ICM, Islamic capital market is an integral part of Islamic financial system where the Sharia compliance financial assets are transacted. It plays an important role in the growth of Islamic financial institutions. It is a market where people, companies, and governments with the surplus funds transfer it to people, companies, or governments who have a shortage of funds. It acts as a financial intermediary, channeling money from the surplus to the deficit unit. Sharia principle act as its big backbone, function as a parallel market to the conventional capital market for capital seekers and also for the capital providers. Attracts funds from domestic as well as international sources. Furthermore, Islamic capital market is where the market transaction is carried out in ways that do not conflict with the conscience of Muslims and the religion of Islam. It represents an assertion of religious law in the capital market transactions. The market should be free from the involvement of prohibited activities by Islam, such as prohibition of riba or interest, application of al-ba'i, trade and commerce, avoidance of gharar, ambiguity in the contractual agreement, prohibition of maisir or gambling, disengagement from production of prohibited commodities such as liquor, pork, tobacco, etc. On this slide, we will be talking on the Islamic capital market products that exist. The first one is Sharia compliant securities or Sharia compliant stock. Next one is Sukuk. Next is Islamic unit trust, and the last one is Islamic real estate investment trust. The first Islamic capital market product is Sharia compliant securities or Sharia compliance stock. The securities is listed on Bursa Malaysia. It is classified as Sharia permissible for investment. It is all due to the companies itself that compliant with Sharia principles in terms of its primary business and investment activities. To know the securities is Sharia compliant, we can see that at the end of the name of the securities will be stated with S, small s with a bracket. The next product for Islamic capital market is Sukuk, or known as Islamic bond. It is a financing instrument that fundraising purposes by companies or governments that act as an issuers. The underlying transaction is structured based on the various Sharia principles or contract. The investors are entitled to the income or profit arising from the underlying transaction. The example for sukuk that have in Malaysia is like sukuk mudarabah, profit sharing, sukuk ijarah, leasing, sukuk salam, deferred delivery purchase. The third product for Islamic capital market is Islamic unit trust funds. It is a collective investment schemes that offer investors the opportunity to invest in a diversified portfolio of Sharia compliant securities, fixed income securities, and also money market instruments. Last but not least, The last product for the Islamic capital market is Islamic Real Estate Investment Trust, IREIT. It is a collective investment vehicles that typically in the form of trust funds. It is that pool money from investors and use the pool capital to buy, manage, and sell real estate. It is provide an investment opportunity for those who wish to invest in the real estate through Sharia compliance capital market instruments. Here we can see the similarity of Islamic capital market with conventional capital market. Both Islamic capital market and conventional capital market have their own regulated body to make sure that their standard and sector were following their own standard that been issued by their own regulated body. Here we can see the differences of Islamic capital market with the conventional capital market. The first characteristic is Sharia framework. Islamic capital market is based on Sharia law. Sharia scholars ensure the adherence to Islamic law and provide guidance. As for the conventional capital market, they have not based on religious law or have any guidance. Prohibited transaction. Islamic capital market, where the stock been dealing with is restricted, that no unlawful activities are allowed. As for the conventional capital market, they permitted the prohibited transaction except for money laundering and financing criminal activities. As for the financing, for the Islamic capital market, Islamic bank provides equity capital to a project or venture. Losses are shared based on equity participation while profits are shared on a pre-agreed ratio. As for the conventional capital market, venture capital companies and investments bank, which typically take equity stakes and management control of an enterprise for providing startup finance. As for the size of the market, Islamic capital market have a small size of market. But for the conventional capital market, they have a bigger one. As for the conclusion, agreed that with the continued growth of Islamic capital market in Malaysia, the overall capital market will grow and develop deeper. Through doing so, the Islamic stock market can be expected on making a substantial contribution to the overall goals of the Islamic banking and finance system as set out in the Master Financial Sector Strategy. That's all from me. Thank you.